30 minutes are in the books. Coming up. A first half recap, a look at the stats, plus scores from across college football. Now, it's time for the Halftime Report on the Cougars Sports Network.
Washington State leading Utah State 14-0 in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, the sixth all-time meeting between WSU and USU. Austin Samuels with you here for the Halftime Report, and let's dive right in to the first half recap. Utah State took the opening kickoff, and the Cougs defense came out strong in this game. They stood tall, forcing a quick 3-and-out. Washington State took their opening drive, 10 plays, 51 yards, all pass plays from Washington State, deep into Aggie territory. Unfortunately for the Cougs, Jack Stevens missed a 32-yard field goal wide right to keep us scoreless for the moment midway through the first quarter. But the Cougs would force another 3-and-out. WSU would drive into Aggie territory, and facing a 3rd down and 11, the Cougs got a conversion in a big way.
Angel Johnson in the game. Snap back, play action. Pressure comes. Zevi heaves it up, has a man up the seam. It is caught. Allen off to the races. Touchdown, Washington State. A 42-yard strike on 3rd and 11. Mackenzie Allen, his second career catch, his first career touchdown, and the Cougs draw first blood here on the blue turf in Boise.
Eckhouse to Mackenzie Allen. The PAT was good. Washington State with a 7-0 lead. That was with 7:08 to play in the first quarter. A 4-play, 56-yard drive that took just over 90 seconds for Washington State to get into the end zone. The Cougs would force another punt, but backed up deep in their own territory. Zevi Eckhouse threw his 10th INT of the year to Ike Larson for Utah State, who returned it deep into WSU territory to the 13-yard line. But the Cougs defense stiffened once more, holding Utah State to a 30-yard field goal attempt, which Tanner Rinker for the Aggies missed wide to the left. The Cougs, unfortunately, couldn't capitalize back the other way. Zevi Eckhouse threw another interception, his second of the day. Dylan Tucker with the pick for Utah State set them up at the Washington State 28-yard line. The Cougs would make a big defensive play of their own, still leading 7-0. They would get an interception in the end zone. Matt Durrance with his first pick of the year in his final collegiate game. In the end zone, picked off quarterback Bryson Barnes for Utah State. That was the end of an eventful first quarter. Washington State leading 7-0 at the end of one. Early in the second quarter, both teams would sort of trade field position and punts back and forth before Washington State got a spark from Tony Freeman with a 29-yard punt return to set WSU up with great field position inside of Utah State territory, and the Cougs would capitalize. Thanks to a couple of big 3rd and long conversions, WSU would march down the field to the Utah State 1-yard line before this play.
The Cougs have it, 2nd and goal from the 1. Johnson, the running back, out of the shotgun. Eckhouse takes the ball, has a wide open man. Hudson Cedarland with the touchdown. Hudson Cedarland, the tight end, the first touchdown of his career. He was a linebacker for Washington State at this time last season. Comes through and makes the grab. 1-yard toss. Eckhouse, Cedarland, Cougs grow the lead. 13-0 Washington State. 4:43 to go first half.
The PAT would be good from Jack Stevens as well. 14-0 Washington State. That was the first touchdown catch of Hudson Cedarland's career, and WSU led 14-0. 4:43 to play in the first half. That was an 8-play drive, 47 yards, took 3:58 off the clock. But the Cougs weren't done. Late in the first half, Washington State marched down the field in the 2-minute drill all the way down to the Utah State 11-yard line before failing to convert on a 4th and 1. That would bring us to the end of the first half. Washington State leading Utah State 14-0. The Cougs looking to win their first bowl game since 2018. Also, the Cougs will get the football to start the second half. When we come back, we'll take a brief look at some scores around college football and dive into the first half numbers in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. You're listening to Washington State Football on the Cougar Sports Network.